Hey guys, welcome back to Conversations with Queens, a mini-series on this channel where we chat with some of our favorite pageant personalities. This day, we are chatting with Klyza Castro, this year's Miss Universe Philippines 2023 Mati City Davao Oriental. Klyza is a veteran beauty queen. She is a proud indigenous Filipina representing the Mandaya tribe, and in a lot of ways, she is a cultural ambassador as well. Does she have what it takes to be a transformational leader, a force for good, and perhaps be the next Miss Universe Philippines? Well, let's find out together. If you guys enjoy videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, check out all the other conversations with queens that we've filmed in the past. And I hope you enjoy this insightful conversation with Klyza. We are with Klyza. Hi. Miss Universe Philippines, Mati City
Davao Oriental.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining me today.
I'm so happy to be
I'm so happy to finally meet you. I've been seeing your photos everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Girl, again, I'm a pageant fan before I am a beauty queen. How has everything so far been for you? Especially now that you're back in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
How is it like so far?
Surprisingly, hindi pa siya ganun ka-hectic. I feel like it's because we're still starting.
Mm-hmm.
The finals is sa May pa. So there's such a long period for us to do like activities and shoots and all this. So I'm just excited. Oh my gosh, this has been my dream. So I'm so excited to finally be here.
How is it finally going for the Miss Universe crown? And do you feel any, classic question. Do you feel any pressure right now?
Not really. With the new org, and I feel like with the new branding, it's sort of like a clean slate. So anything goes. And I love that they're prioritizing more of the girls' advocacy, how they speak, how they relate to people. Because it's not the usual pageant mold that we have known for the past 10 years. So I'm loving this change of like the new era of beauty queens.
I know. And there's been like a bigger conversation about advocacies and I guess women, the candidates as individuals in general.
Yeah.
So is there anything, to be specific, that you want people to take away from your candidacy? Like, well, as you are going through this journey to Miss Universe Philippines, what is it that you want people to remember you by?
I want people to remember that I'm a beauty queen who is proud to be pure Pinay. I used to not be proud of this identity at all, especially during my teenage years. But now going into Miss Universe Philippines, this is really something that I want to highlight, that I'm proud to be pure Pinay. Not just that, I also have indigenous roots from the Mandaya tribe of Davao Oriental, and they really are the core of my Miss Universe Philippines journey and also the core of my advocacy.
Can you tell us more about your advocacy?
So, in supporting the Mandaya tribe, I really wanted something sustainable. I didn't want it to be like a one-time thing. I wanted it to last in the long run. And so I've been working with the tribal chieftain, who is a woman. So I'm super happy about that. I'm super proud of her because she became a tribal chieftain since she was 26 years old. And up until now, like 5-6 years later, she still does everything for the Mandaya tribe. And so I am honored to have connected them with the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, of Davao Oriental through their livelihood assistance program. So the main source of income of the Mandaya tribe is abaca farming. So they farm it themselves, and the harvest period takes like 2 years, and then they process it by hand. They scrape the outer layer and dry it in the sun, and then the fibers, abaca fibers, are then sold to make the products na like clothing, bags. Diba medyo umuuso na yun ngayon?
Yeah.
Yes, even furniture. So yun yung kalang #1 source of income. But not only that, it's also the main material used in dagmay. It is their sacred hand-woven na textile, and it actually is the core of their identity. And so we're actually hitting 2 birds with 1 stone with the advocacy, kasi not only are we supporting their main source of income, but we are also sustaining their weaving, which is the identity of the Mandaya tribe.
That's so incredible. And I feel like now, of course, being in pageantry, it's very tied into fashion,
Yes.
styling. So do you think, is that something that we'd be seeing from you?
Yes, of course. But I also want to correct some assumptions when it comes to tribal fabric. diba lately medyo umuuso na yung wearing the fabric in like our clothing and all that, which is good. But I recently found out that for the Mandaya tribe, it's actually sacred. And so I wouldn't want to disrespect their fabric by wearing it in any way that might be indecent for them. Kasi it may be normal for us, but for the tribe, sobrang traditional na kanilang way of life. And so I also want to get it out there that before purchasing or even making custom clothing with tribal fabric, that we should also research first the traditions of the tribe, because maybe what worked for our tribe medyo hindi naman ganun ka-conservative yung other tribes. So just to get it out there, just to correct the assumption about that.
That's really good, because we see all of these prints and these fabrics, but at the end of the day, they go back to specific tribes with different identities.
Yeah, so it's good to get it out there, but of course, they still are the core of the fabric, so we want to respect their traditions at the end of the day.
And really honor their roots, their background. So tell me how you started working with the tribe and also with DOLE, because I remember before we started this video, you were talking about how you started this like 2 years ago. How did that come to be?
So last 2021, syempre we were still in the midst of the pandemic. I just had a random thought na I wanted to visit the tribe, which was like 6 hours away from our home because it was on the top of a mountain. Sobrang hirap to go up there. But then, so I talked to my dad, because my mom and my dad are both from Davao Oriental. Kaya we also have, all of us in the family have Mandaya tribe roots. And so I saved up some money during the pandemic kasi I planned to move here also. And from my earnings from my previous national pageant, which I won. So using my own money, I gathered hygiene kits, household essentials, food, water, even clothing also. So we wrapped it up in like a household bag na ganito kalaki, and we had like 50 of them. So we bought it in a truck and we traveled for 6 hours to get to the tribe. And then when we got there, I was kind of teary-eyed kasi it's in a place called Sangab in Davao Oriental, and it's the last remaining community to fully preserve the culture. And the culture talaga is so beautiful, and they don't just let anybody in. So we were honored kasi syempre since we have roots, we were allowed to go in and be of help for the tribe kasi they don't have, hindi sila masyado nakaka-reach sa mga essential, especially during the pandemic, because of the restrictions. And so I met, her name is Christine Banugan, the tribal chieftain. And so I was super surprised to see that the leader is a woman. Kasi usually in all representations in the media, it's always a man, like an elderly, strong man leading the tribe. But here she is, a young woman in her 20s or early 30s, leading a whole tribe that sustains the last remaining piece of the Mandaya identity. Kaya ever since then, we've been in constant communication until now, and they're super supportive of me joining Miss Universe Philippines.
Did they say anything to you about finally, I guess, seeing that kind of representation for them on the Miss Universe Philippines stage?
My gosh, yes. So the last time we went there was last week when we shot the tourism video. But I wanted to squeeze in going to them because I miss them so much. And Ate Kring told me that Mandaya used to be an insult. It used to be like a derogatory word for like pag wala kang pinag-aralan, pag like taga-bundok ka. It used to be like that. But they're happy that ever since I announced my candidacy and announced that I'm proudly representing the Mandaya tribe, more and more people are coming out na, oh my gosh, I'm a proud Mandaya too. And this is something that is like for the first time para sa tribo. Kasi for so long, it used to be an insult talaga for people to think na, Mandaya ka, so wala kang pinag-aralan. But now, I'm a Mandaya and I'm proud of it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I remember a while ago you said that being a pure Filipina, and I guess tying into that, being part of or having roots in the Mandaya tribe is something that when you were younger, something that you really struggled with.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, how were you able to embrace yourself and now going onto the national stage, even proudly representing your roots? How did you get to that point of, I guess, confidence and self-love?
I think it's a common experience for all Filipinos. I'm sure you're
Alam mo
right? Yeah, so when I was younger, as in morena ako, I used to play outside, but then when I became a teenager na, doon na yung like, oh my gosh, kailangan mong magpaputi to fit the standards. And then when I would see sa television and even sa grocery store, all the aisles would be filled with whitening products. So I tried it all. I tried gluta to whiten my skin, and I achieved it for a while. But then I sort of felt lost. Now, this is not really who I am. But then I realized that this sort of representation is really, really important. Kasi even though it's sort of unspoken, there are so millions of girls in the Philippines who have tribal roots and are pure Pinay. And I think that we should be proud of it. Kasi our indigenous communities are like the pillars of our Filipino heritage, and we should never leave them behind or like make them feel left out, even though our society is already modernized. Kaya in my journey, I really want to share this story na we should be proud of our identity, proud to be pure Pinay. If you have tribal roots, you should embrace it and embrace your culture and share it with others.
Do you think your younger self would have imagined you being able to try Miss Universe Philippines, embracing everything that makes you you?
I don't think so. Like, when I was still younger, when I would play outside, syempre, like yung mga bad, uy, wag kang lumabas kasi iitim ka and all of that. And actually, we were allowed to get some pictures of childhood photos kasi part in sa documentary video that Miss Universe Philippines is compiling. And then I gathered some photos of me joining speech contests kasi that was my thing when I was younger. I started joining them since I was 9 years old. And then I saw, oh my gosh, ang skin ko and everything. Like, when I was younger, I used to be so insecure of that. But now, like, looking back na, ang ganda pala ng ganong skin. And now, as in, used to, dati, sobrang nagtatago ako from the sun. But now when I go to the beach, as in, hinahanap-hanap yung sun where I can go tan. Even going on walks pag hapon just to get that tan back kasi I miss it na.
Yeah, and it's something that is widely celebrated now in pageantry too, right? Is there anything that you want to achieve given the Miss Universe Philippines platform? Parang, I guess, more on the action-based side of the advocacy. Is there anything you want to implement, you want to achieve?
So, in connecting the tribe with DOLE, yung livelihood assistance program kasi it's more focused on the equipment and the machineries needed for the livelihood of the community. So since the main source of income ng Mandaya tribe is abaca farming, when we went there, Ate Kring, the chieftain, actually told me na since the process is so long, since it's by hand, they would love for us to be able to assist them with machineries of like scraping the abaca fiber, just to para lang mabilis yung yung turnover ng kanilang income. And so with that, since now I'm representing Davao Oriental, which is the home of the Mandaya tribe, when I win, I would love to bring this to different tribes across the Philippines. Kasi kinwento ni Ate Kring na it's good we're celebrating the culture of the tribe, but what about actually seeing what they need? Kasi it's an issue right now that since hindi na masyado sila nakaka-earn within the tribe members are forced to leave and find work in the city in order to sustain their families. So if we will be able to help them sustain their own livelihood without leaving the tribe, we also sustain their culture. So again, two birds with one stone. And I don't think that's the case lang for our tribe. I think many other tribes can relate. They go down to the city to find work, but then who will be left to sustain the culture? So I really wanted something feasible and action-based, like actually focusing on their livelihood para they themselves can actually, parang not giving them fish but teaching them how to fish. Parang ganon yung gusto ko.
Exactly. Yeah. That's so inspiring to know. You mentioned that the tribe chieftain is a woman.
Yeah.
And that also your LGU leaders are also women.
Yes.
How does it feel to be representing and working with so many women moving on to this competition?
So the two main leaders of our city and our province are women, and the tribal chieftain is a woman. And I would, oh my gosh, sobrang na-inspire ako from them when I visited them 2 weeks ago. And so they themselves are transformational leaders, and they inspire me to also be a transformational leader. And we don't get to see that much women leaders, even though it's increasing now. We're slowly seeing their value, but not much. I think we could still do more. And so with Ate Kring, she's she started being a chieftain at 26. And when you're 26 years old, people usually don't see your value pa as a woman because you're still young and inexperienced and all that. But if she was able to sustain a whole tribe and their culture is still thriving up until now, why not give other women leaders a chance, diba?
Yeah, I think nothing is as empowering as seeing women like you achieve so much and really make a change in their own ways, in their own communities. So speaking of the Miss Universe pageant and how you're bringing and representing so many of these women, this community, how has your preparation been so far? Because I think now with Miss Universe Philippines, like you said, it's more focused on advocacy. It's focused on how you are as a person, as an individual. How has your preparation been?
So I started training last November, I think. So I really want to tick all the boxes. So I think my main strength is Q&A. Q&A is actually my favorite. Q&A is actually my favorite part of a pageant because I used to do debate, and yeah, and I love it. And extemporaneous speech when I was younger. That was my whole thing when I was younger. And so in order to tick all the boxes, I also have to practice my pasarela and styling, and I learned how to do my own hair and makeup.
Yeah, it's so placado if you guys can see.
So yeah, even just like how I want to present myself, because I don't want to get lost in my journey. I still want to present myself in the most authentic way as possible. So sa mga next shoots or mga next content that I will publish, I would be sharing more of myself. And kasi syempre all of us are beautiful, given na yun. All of us are representing our beautiful provinces, but what would set me apart is my own personal story, and I want to share that in every way that I possibly can.
I love that. For the Q&A part, and I guess your extemporaneous speaking experiences, debate, what kind of edge do you think that gives you in the competition as a former debater and speaker?
I think like the pressure with time. I don't know why, but in our Q&A trainings, I would always hit it before 30 seconds. Like meron na akong parang instinct na, oh, it's time to end, it's time to close this na. But I guess the thing that I want to work more on pa is like the personal stuff. Kasi syempre in debate, like, oh, we're correct, this is the correct argument and all that. But syempre you don't want to come off as like lecturing a group of people. You want to inspire them, and you always still want to seem relatable. Kaya I want to smile more and all that. Yeah, I think I'm doing good in Q&A because it's my favorite. It's really my favorite.
Do you feel any pressure, like in general, na parang, kasi I was talking to Kali, and Kali is of course also a speaker, and she was saying something like, merong pressure because if you're known to be good at something, then there's like this pressure to perform well. Did you feel that way at all, like coming into the competition when you had to speak in front of people, na parang, oh, they have this notion about me, or no naman?
I feel like I told them about my background, pero a while ago when they released the prelim interviews of the Miss Universe this year, I found that like the girls were very engaging lang, casual. Parang it shifted na from being super like pageant perfect. Hindi mo na kailangan maging sobrang perfect. It's more about telling your story. But since I have the background na to back me up, I don't feel that much parang pressure na kailangan ko maging ultimate best and all that. Kasi I know that I can speak well now, so it's more about the message na lang that I want to relay. Ganon.
That's amazing, and I feel like young Klyza will be very, very proud.
Klyza.
Do you think? Okay, this is something that I've been asking the other queens as well. What do you think will your younger self think about you, and what message do you want to tell her now that you're here? And if you could look back, see her again.
So Miss Universe has been my dream ever since I was 4 years old, and I started joining public speaking competitions when I was 9. So let's
Kalokan 9.
Yeah, I was in grade 3. I actually have photos of it. I'll show you later. I was doing this sa mga yung awarding na speech festivals. Yeah, but I think she would be proud. Kasi I think na she would think that if ever I would join at this age, I would be someone different, someone who would fit the mold of the traditional Filipino beauty queen that was celebrated in the past years, which I adore, but that wasn't who I am. So I think that she would be proud na I'm presenting myself in the most authentic way possible, celebrating my identity, celebrating my roots. Kasi in my previous pageant stint, I didn't do that. I was very, I wanted to be the perfect pageant girl. So now I'm telling more of my story, so I think she would be proud.
Aw, that's so nice. Oh, what about naman the women, the girls who see themselves in you? Is there any message that you like to share with them?
I think that the struggle of accepting who you are is very normal, especially when we were all younger, but hopefully all of us will come into terms with our identity and proudly celebrate it and proudly share it with people. I think hindi lang to for beauty queens. Every single person can relate na whoever you are, where you come from, dapat you should celebrate that fully and unapologetically, and that will make you love yourself more.
I love it! Ayan, nakinig kayo kay Klyza. Stay confident. Okay, final question. Kudaera ka talaga. Microphone buffet tayo for today's video. Yeah, you're just like moving through the questions so easily. But okay, I guess for people who are getting to know you for the first time or who are getting to know beauty queen, Miss Universe Philippines, Mati City Davao Oriental, Klyza Castro, what can they expect come Coronation Night?
Oh my gosh. I think, of course, the gowns will be beautiful. I would like to perfect my pasarela even more. But at the end of the day, I would want my message to come across talaga. I would love to have a chance to speak on that stage and share my story and my experiences, because that, I believe, is the essence of why I joined Miss Universe Philippines. And hopefully after the coronation, I would get to help more people, visit more tribes, and help people accept more of who they are. So hopefully that's a takeaway of what people can get in my journey and even afterwards.
I love that. Well, we will look forward to seeing you on stage on May 13th.
Oh my God!
And manifesting. Oh, naman. Ako ba ba? As a fan, I'll find a way. Pagka makasingit ako backstage, you don't know. Baka naman, Sir Walter. Joke. But anyway, I'm so excited for you, and I really hope, I'm manifesting na mahawakan mo yung microphone.
Oh my gosh, man.
Because I feel like that is all we wish. Now we can stand up there and say the message, and then the universe will decide.
I love that.
Good luck, and see you on the 13th.
See you all on May 13th.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!